These homes sure are beautiful, but doesn't matter how beautiful the home is if you don't understand what's happening behind the scenes in the neighborhoods. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into this home. We're going to talk about why it's such a great value, but there's more to the story. Let's get moving. Here's our favorite part, the walkthrough. So we're gonna show off how unbelievable this home is. We might even get you into one of the spec homes that's getting built, a little bit bigger home that's not all decorated all beautifully, to show you what the real home is that they deliver. It is a fantastic property. Let's get in here and show this off right now. Watch your step here, Brett. All right. Well, the black windows, the aesthetics of the outside, the design of this home are naturally inviting. When you pull up to this property outside, you can see it. It's beautiful. It's unbelievable, really. It is what people are looking for when they're looking for new homes right now. It's pretty perfect. In here, you're gonna see the tall ceilings, obviously the tray features. These videos start to be repetitive, right? You're always gonna notice there's gonna be a bedroom or two here, and there's probably an office or two there, and it's always the same. But there's some things, some key features we're gonna point out in this home that I think you should stick around for because it's different. They do a really good job at Perry Homes. So let's take you through a tour. Interesting. So the windows, it's a very large window close to the ground. You notice that? It's a little bit closer to the ground than I've seen in other floor plans or other builders. And there is really only one concern for me about the windows being low. It's the second story. And once we get into another home, the window is going to be as low on the second story. That's something to pay attention to. Something I pay attention to, being a father of 5. I pay real close attention to that because a low window on the second story could cause trouble and you have to take safeguards. But not trying to take away from the floor plan, it's just something I noticed right away. Wow. Nicely done, nicely decorated for sure. The tall ceilings are about a 9-foot 4-inch ceiling. And what is impressive about Perry is 8-foot doors. 8-foot doors are standard. You're seeing those in a lot of models, but then once you get to the pricing point of building a home, they're gonna upcharge you. Here, they don't upcharge you. Another thing they don't upcharge you for, the wood shelves in the closets. So this is truly a standard item here. It is not standard metal rack. It is standard wood shelves in the closet. All the closets, including the pantries. What I really noticed about this builder is all their lines are clean and all very square. You can see the architecture behind it. Everything's very symmetrical. Everything flows well. And they have these large, thicker transitions, I guess, where it's not just a 2x4 width, it is a large area here. And now I'm gonna show you how big of a difference that makes. Look at this doorway here. This is about a 30-inch doorway or so, maybe closer to 24 inches, but it feels grand. Just the fact that it's wider aesthetically here between the rooms. Something I pay attention to, not everybody does.
It's nice, it gives you that feel like it's separated, but yet still a part of it.
Yeah, it's very grand.
It is.
It's very grand.
And you could accent that nicely. If you
and this is only a 2,500 square foot home, meaning 2,500 square foot's a great size, but whenever you have like certain features, it really helps bring out like more of a luxurious feel in a home like this.
It's a good placement of the washer and dryer in right here off of the kitchen.
I think so. I think it's a really nicely done laundry room. It's out of the way. It's not attached to the kitchen. It's not something you have to walk through from the garage. It's pretty well done. What would you do in this office though? That's the big question. And remember I talked about the wide doorways? Again, it feels different when you have these wide doorways. You don't have these skinny little walls. I don't know why that is, but being in enough homes like we are, I really see a difference. This is a nice room. Practical, without a door, probably not always, right? A lot of people that will have this floor plan would probably build something here, probably build a double French door. So it keeps some privacy here, especially if you're working from home, or if you just want that, you know, a place to get away.
Definitely could do that very easily here as well. That's an easy modification.
Really simple. You can even put a transom up there to bring in the extra light. And as you can see with these windows, again, now that I brought your attention to the fact that they're low to the ground, you can see it, they're low to the ground because they're just massive windows. They're huge. They're huge.
This house has got a lot of windows in it.
It does.
Great job of bringing the outside in there.
That outside, that daylight is so important, especially like if you look at that front door. This would be a completely different look if that front door was solid and there's no side light.
It would.
And with that door being glass, and then that massive door wall, it's gonna bring in a lot of light. Before we get into the kitchen, let's talk about this door wall real quick. I love the black windows. So not all builders do the black windows, and if they do, they charge you a pretty penny for them. This is these black windows are really nice. This is a really heavy, high quality door. It will open all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and actually, technically, you could probably put them both in the center. I don't know if you do that, but this is, again, the Florida living. Opens up to a lanai. This particular home doesn't really have a yard, but other homes on the property will have yards, different views, and there's like what looks to be a small river that seems to run through this property. What's great is I had a chance to drive through here before we got started, and the nature and the ponds and the shapes of the ponds, it looks like a little bit of a river shape here, but the lots are a lot bigger than what you might see here with this model. So if you want that property with privacy and you want to back to some water, they definitely have it here. That's a nice touch, actually. Take a look at the top of this lanai. They trimmed out the top of this lanai, and that's a nice touch.
Especially putting that hardy siding up there.
It's really nice.
I mean, it looks like
Really nicely done.
a nice finished board out there.
Yeah, really nicely done. Let me shut this here. That view of the kitchen, and especially those extra cabinets and how it all kind of flows together with the dining room table and the island, I really find that appealing. And a lot of the clients that I work with that come in from out of town, this is the type of floor plan they look for. They look for something that's going to be everyday, usable, functional. Give me that flow from the kitchen to the island to the dining room to the living room with that open concept. So remember, we were open concept at one point 20 years ago. We went back to a compartmentalized concept for a while. So the real estate industry shifts a little bit, and it went to more of a let's break up, let's start closing it in again. And then it went back to open concept. So we are in an open concept floor plan type style right now, generation. And that's what is so appealing for a floor plan like this. That's a nice vent hood. That is really attractive to me. Not everybody's gonna love that, but I think it's fantastic. And this builder does offer a 42-inch cabinet as standard. This looks to be an electric neighborhood, so there's no gas in this neighborhood. Remember, that's about 50% of the builders or of the neighborhoods in Florida are gonna offer gas. They did the farmhouse looking sink, the pull-out drawer with the trash cans, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of cabinets here, so you have to rely on a pantry. But you also have that whole section over here. I like what they did here, kind of with this is probably a perfect place to put a little beverage bar for coffee. But these windows really bring in that light and make this area stand out even more. So with this builder, another thing that I was really impressed about was the master suite and the master bathroom specifically. It had a real nice look to it, a real nice touch. These 8-foot doorways make it appealing. It is a little bit off the family room. Some people are okay with that. Some people don't like that. But because you do have this little bit of a cove, you can come in. It's not directly, you're not looking directly into the bedroom. But once again, here's those massive windows. These massive windows make a massive difference in my eyes. A lot of light. But something I noticed here, the really tall curtains, by placing that curtain rod up, makes these windows even look more grand. These windows are massive. You won't see that in a lot of builders. They won't spend the extra money to put these big, huge windows. But once we get out of here, remember, we're gonna go to a home that's being built. I'm really curious on going to the second story and seeing what they do on the second floor. That's gonna be really something to pay attention to, especially if you have kids on the second floor. Now the master bath. You know, a lot of builders will put a pocket door here, and it just kind of, it's standard, right? Pocket door is very standard. Every builder that we go into, but this is one of the first builders that I've seen that does something different. And whenever you find a builder that does something different aesthetically, you kind of have to point it out because they do a nice job with these double doors, a little bit thinner door, a little bit wider space, and perfectly centered with that beautiful tub. Nicely done. Tray ceiling in the bathroom, and also large windows, large frosted windows in the bath. This particular bathroom in this floor plan, remember this is a 2,517 square foot floor plan. You have two separate closets here, and both of these closets have those wood shelves that we talked about. They are smaller closets than we've seen, but the fact that there's two of them, they're probably more than adequate for most people. Wanna take a look? But in here, the penny tile, they took the same floor tile that was here and they've kind of carried it up a couple of the walls. But this is a really nice accent wall. Really nicely done, nice design. The kind of a wood look, even though it's tile. A nicely positioned Delta faucet. So they have quality fixtures here. Well built. Nice construction, great floor plan, nice design elements. There's a lot to love here. This is one of the nicer designed homes that I've been in a while in this price point with this size. We can go to the West Bays, we can go to Toll Brothers, we can go to MI Homes up in Two Rivers like we were at, and we can go to North River Ranch, so we can see David Weekley and Cardell, we can see all these builders. Perry, coming on scene in the Tampa area, is a nice addition. There's only a few neighborhoods that have this builder, and it's gonna be in Naples, it's gonna be in Brooksville, and it's gonna be here. But we're gonna show you all of that when we go back to the computer. All right, so we're gonna go over to the desk real quick, and we're gonna kind of break this down for you to show you what this area looks like a little bit more. And then we're gonna probably come back on site. I gotta show you this two-story home. They said it's not video ready. Well, we'll make that determination. Not all homes that we go through are video ready, right, Brett? Ever. Right. They're never really video ready unless it's a model. But I do wanna get up there and see that second story. So let's get to the desk, come back out on site, show you that property, and that probably should be a wrap. We just want to make sure we answer all the questions about this neighborhood. It is a unique neighborhood. It's a great builder that happens to be in an area that's probably going to be a little bit challenged for sales for a few different reasons. So let's break it down and show you why. The closer you get to the shoreline, the harder it is to find areas to put new neighborhoods. Well, somehow this developer found a way to put an entire neighborhood in, and the proximity is amazing. So we're gonna talk about the location, the trifecta, the Sarasota, Tampa, and St. Petersburg trifecta, and we're gonna show you why that's important. And I'm gonna run some drive times. We're running about 4:50 p.m. on a Monday. So let's see what these drive times look like in rush hour. That'll be an interesting test. All right, so right here in the middle of the screen, you're gonna see the neighborhood. If you back out, and that spot that I just clicked is the neighborhood. You're gonna see that it's really close to Highway 41, also Interstate 75. So 41 takes you all the way up into Tampa, 75 takes you up into Tampa and north, and also 75 takes you down south. So the reason I want to talk about going south is 75 will take you right to Siesta Key. Siesta Key is the #1 beach in the United States. It's been rated that, I think, for a few years. It might have even skipped a year, but Siesta Key is rated one of the best beaches in the world, but the #1 beach in the United States. And you can get there pretty quick. So let's take a look at this location, and then let's do some drive times to see what we have here. Let's go Siesta Key Beach. All right, Siesta Key, in rush hour, it's 43 minutes away. 43 minutes away to drive from this neighborhood to Siesta Key. Now, if we want to stay on the beaches for a minute, and we want to go to St. Pete Beach, let's go Treasure Island just to make it easy, which is over by St. Pete. Over through the Skyway, 39 minutes. Clearwater is going to be a little bit further, but let's take a look at Clearwater Beach. That's an hour and 9. I figured that was going to be a little ways. And let's go to Anna Maria Island. Anna Maria Island, the only reason there'd be traffic going into Anna Maria right now, there's not, would be for sunset. It's a popular place. Holmes Beach, Bradenton Beach, Coquina Beach, and of course Anna Maria Island. That's an amazing place, but in 35 minutes you can get to Anna Maria Island from this location. And I didn't even talk about Fort Desoto. Fort Desoto is very close as well. If you were to go to Fort Desoto Beach, which is a very well-known beach in the area, let's take a look at what that looks like. And that only took 35 minutes. That's coming up and then back down to Fort Desoto. That is an amazing spot, amazing location. And you can get over to Shell Key. You can get a ferry over to Shell Key or Egmont Key. There's so many things to do when you live in this area. And that is what's so special about this location. Now, if you want to go shopping and you need a good mall, you have UTC, University Town Center, which is in Sarasota. And right now, during rush hour, it's 23 minutes I-75 south, and you'll drop you right off into UTC. Now, UTC has everything. It has everything a mall would have, a high-end mall would have, and of course, the surrounding area has everything from your Whole Foods to the Tesla dealer to, you just name it. It has everything around UTC. There's even a new Moat Aquarium coming there, so that's pretty cool. So whatever you're looking for is here with the trifecta, because if you want to get to Tampa International Airport, it's going to take you, oh wow, that took you up through St. Petersburg. That took you 49 minutes. There is another route over here that takes 52 minutes. So depending on the traffic patterns, you can go left or right of the bay to get to Tampa International Airport. But an airport that I like to fly out of a lot, especially like going to Flint or going to see my daughter in West Virginia, is I like to take Pye, which is a Clearwater St. Pete airport. It's a smaller airport, seems more regional, but it's a smaller airport, and it can get me in and out of places pretty quick, and it's easy. It's small. It's nice. And that one's only 39 minutes away. That's a great airport if you're not flying internationally. So overall, let's take one more look at something. You're gonna see something that's crazy. This is gonna take probably over 2 hours to get to. But let me type in Orlando. Better yet, let me type in Universal Studios. Oh, an hour and 43 minutes. Even with this log jam, you're gonna see I-4. You're gonna see this red right around Champions Gate. No matter what time of day, it's always gonna be busy on I-4, especially around Champions Gate. But as you can see from everything I'm showing you, everything's close, within range. And the important things like Costco, 18 minutes. There it is. 18 minutes, guys, get you to Costco Bradenton. That's a really nice Costco too. It's a little bit newer than the one in Brandon that came up. So no matter what you're after, you're gonna be centrally located here. Now, I do wanna talk about one more thing. You are just west. This neighborhood is just west and just north of Parrish. We talk about Parrish a lot. Parrish is a hotbed right now. There's so much growth, so much activity, so much building. We do a lot of business in Parrish because once people see our videos and they watch some of our neighborhood videos in Parrish, people end up gravitating towards Parrish. However, one thing we did like about this neighborhood is it is closer to the beaches. It's closer to those destinations than Parrish is, not by much, but closer is closer. So if you have any questions about the maps or about drive times or anything, obviously just pick up the phone and call us. Just dial that number, text me, call me, and we'll run all the maps. We'll go drive it just to make sure, double, triple check that we're not misquoting a drive time. But that is where we're located with this neighborhood. Let's zoom back out. And in the scheme of things, you are right in this little circle here between I-75 and 41, those freeways. And in Florida, you are very centrally located. So east to west, it's pretty easy to get across. North to south, you jump on I-75, and even getting to Miami is pretty easy. So if you want to take a weekend to get to Miami or go to the Keys, and as you can tell, there's no lack of things to do in the Sarasota, Tampa, St. Petersburg area. That trifecta right there is perfect to me. I think the location is amazing, and with everything that's out there, it's amazing. But let's go back on site. Let's go show you the second home, and let's dig into it a little bit deeper, show you the rest of the neighborhood to see if it does make sense for you, because this neighborhood may or may not make sense for you, even though I believe that the homes that they build are high quality and it's a really good builder, really reputable builder. So let's take it on site again. I will tell you, these homes are very aesthetically pleasing. They look beautiful. The curb appeal on the two-story homes, I mean, you can even see this home that's getting built here. Great curb appeal. This floor plan is, I believe, different than the model. Yeah, it is different than the model. And take a look at this, guys. What a beautiful floor plan. Just nicely done. It's gonna be a beautiful neighborhood. When it gets finished here, it will have a lot of curb appeal. One thing we did not point out, standard pavers throughout. Remember, this home is not finished.
Nice decorative architectural pieces on the outside. It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, those pieces, the architectural pieces are really nice. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in here. It's definitely not show ready, but none of them are at this point. But look at the amount of windows. Holy smokes, look at how beautiful that is. This is a great floor plan. Yeah, look at that nature. That's really amazing.
I feel like the whole community was like put right in the middle of a preserve.
It was. Check this out. Look at the backsplash. I love that hood. And they probably don't even want us going up the stairs without a railing. But even those spindles, the wrought iron spindles, are standard. And this one might have a princess suite or something on that side. But like I mentioned, I have to see the windows upstairs. I have to. Okay, I think we're in good shape. Notice the windows are higher. That's a safety item. And it doesn't look like there's one bedroom over here. It looks like there's two. Let's see what the windows, oh, that's nice. Yeah, the windows are nice and high off the floor. So that is a relief, because I've seen the low windows in other builders in other states, and it's a safety concern. This home has a long way to go.
It does, but it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's got a long way to go, but if it ends up looking like the model, someone's getting a heck of a home for a great value here. So hopefully that's obvious to you that there are so many great things about living here and in an area like this. But is the juice worth the squeeze? When you have a CDD fee that doesn't really have a lot of the amenities that they normally come with, but you do get more of a value with the home because the home would be more expensive in other areas. Does that offset? Is that something, can you make a comment please, and just, does that make sense? Does that, would it be more important to you to have the amenities in the neighborhood, or would it be more important to you to have a slightly better priced home with a lot of standard features? I'd love to know your answer. So as you can see, there are a million great reasons to buy new construction here in Florida, but there's also really good reasons to buy resale. If you buy new or resale, it doesn't matter. You need to know the areas you're buying. You need to know the intricacies. You need to know the fees. You need to know the drive times, the distances, and what's hidden. What's hidden behind Zillow? They're talking about the house. What's hidden in the outskirts? What are you not seeing? Put us on task. Tell us to go drive through a neighborhood. Ask us to put the camera up so you can see what the entrance looks like, because you're never going to be able to do it remotely. Call us, please. Text us, email us, call us, get a hold of us, and we're here to support you in your move to Florida. Hope that helps.